Good morning. The light is still on my face, but I'm gonna try to keep going anyway. I'm gonna try to adjust this the best way I can. Um, okay, this is awkward. Sorry. Okay, I think this is okay. So, I wanted to make a short video on just motherhood in general. I wanted to talk about motherhood being a sacrifice and why women in general, not just black women, need to think twice when it comes to committing oneself to becoming a mother for the very first time. And the reason why I say that is because I think that the media and a lot of the social engineering towards motherhood geared to girls kind of sugarcoats what really motherhood is and what it's about. And a lot of women go into pregnancy and go into having a child and raising a child with these unrealistic expectations and rules of thumb, or whatever you want to call it, about how motherhood should be, and later on might become depressed or resentful, even towards that child herself or just motherhood in general, because it's not at all what she expected it to be. I'm 27 years old. I don't have children yet. And the reason why is because A, I'm not in a rush, and B, I'm really looking forward to developing myself and my future before I think about jumping into motherhood. C, I'm not married. So actually C should have been B. A, I'm not in a rush. B, I'm not married. And C, I want to make sure my life is in a position where I can pass something down to my kids. I don't want to have children in a position where I'm passing down not just knowledge or I guess old wounds or whatever, but poverty. I don't want to pass down poverty. And even though I consider myself to not, quote unquote, be living in poverty, based on, I guess, the salary and the amount of taxes that come out of my check, I'm considered middle class, maybe even lower middle class. But I don't really consider myself impoverished, but at the same time, I just want to put myself in a better position economically where I can work on passing down wealth. And I believe a lot of women, especially black women, not trying to pick on my group, but we wound up having kids in wrong situations. Maybe I shouldn't say wrong situations, but in bad situations, in situations where you're not economically fit to bring a child into the world yet. You're not, quote unquote, with the man that impregnated you anymore. And you decide to raise the child on your own, which, a lot of women across all races do a good job at raising kids on their own, and their kids turn out to be wonderful, fully functional, great contributors to mainstream society. But looking at the state of the black community right now, I'm really not trying to bash single motherhood, because there's a lot of great single moms out there. I personally know a few, but majority of cases overall, single motherhood has not really benefited the black community overall as a whole. And I'm not trying to bash or be hateful or spiteful or anything like that. I'm just telling it the way it is, the way the numbers speak out. It's not really benefiting us, which is why I'm trying to promote women, yes, all women, but especially black women, to hold off on motherhood, not solely because of economical reasons, but because of emotional reasons, of social reasons. Family structure is everything. And especially if it's a healthy family structure. I'll take that back. Family structure is not everything, but if you have a healthy family unit, healthy family structure, having a child in that type of situation is a lot better than a not having a good home foundation or home structure, or B, many times not having a spouse at all to help you in raising the children. And I feel like I'm going all over the place, so let me get back on point. Motherhood is a sacrifice, and you have to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before even thinking about becoming a mom. And I apply this to my own life as well. My mother, she raised 4 children with a husband, and watching them raise us together, even when they had each other, it was hard. It was hard as hell. Money was tight all the time. We couldn't really do a lot of things. They couldn't do a lot of things together that they wanted to do, such as travel, go out. There was just a lot of sacrifice on both ends. Both parents had to put certain dreams on hold, or certain things had to be delayed because we had to come first. And the thing with motherhood or fatherhood, but motherhood especially, you can't live the single bachelorette freedom life and be a mom at the same time. It's impossible. And I think there are a lot of young moms who are trying to do just that. Having a baby young, after the infatuation of having a cute little baby wears off, you start missing the life that you once had or could have had. And then you put motherhood on hold and you try to relive that life that you've always really deep down wanted to keep or live. But you can't do that. Motherhood is sacrifice. You sacrifice your own happiness, your own desires, your own life for the soul of raising another human being and raising them to be, a good, functioning, hardworking adult in this society. And I think part of the reason why within the Black community in general that we have so many adults that aren't really functioning the way that they should is because it's a possibility that they had parents that didn't put them first or didn't fully invest in them as they were children. Therefore, the kids grow up to be the type of adults that aren't responsible, that make excuses, that are mentally still children, but they may be in adult bodies, and they go on to make similar bad choices in life that their parents have because they really didn't have that foundation or the right training, And it's unfortunate, but never rush to have children because you see your friends having kids, or you see a baby and you think it's cute, and of course babies are always cute, but that baby grows and they need a lot of nurturing, they need a lot of support, and not just food and vitamins and stuff. They need economic support, emotional support, mental support. They need a lot of education, and it's just a lot of sacrifice. When you become a mom, you can't travel when you want to travel. You can't hang out when you want to hang out. You can't take your check and say, okay, I'm going to put a certain amount of money aside just for me, and the rest for my bills. and screw everyone else. No, majority of your check is going to go towards the bills and towards your baby. And maybe if you have a little bit of money left, maybe it can go towards savings or towards yourself. But most of the time, no. You can't do what you want to do. You can't drink. You can't party. You can't club. You can't hang out whenever you want to hang out. It requires a lot of time, and a lot of energy towards raising a kid. And I don't have kids. I can't really say too much about parenthood, but I do know, based off of my observations of watching my mom, that it is a huge sacrifice. You sacrifice your body as well. That tight, beautiful shape that you have, it's going to be gone after 9 months. It's going to be gone. Unless you're a workout fanatic and you can snap back in shape after like 2 months, which most of us aren't, you're going to be left with a body that isn't as youthful as it used to be after having a baby. And that's okay, because, you know, like I said, over time, if you're a workout fanatic, if you're committed to fitness and health, then you can have that body back. But for the next couple of years, if not, your body is going to dramatically change. During pregnancy, your organs shift, the baby stretches your stomach out, and childbirth, that's no whole nother subject. I've heard many stories that you'll never be the same down there. It's you sacrifice your body. You also sacrifice pretty much on a mental and emotional level as well. Everything you do, everything you eat, sleep, and breathe your child. And that is why, you know, that in itself is more of a reason to postpone having kids until you're really, really, really ready. And really, really, really ready does not mean really, really, really have a desire. There's a difference. You can really, really have a desire to have children, but you can really, really not be ready. You can really, really not have your stuff together, but still want a baby. And I still don't think that's a very good idea if in that scenario. I desire to have a child. I really do. I can go out here, just grab anybody and have a baby tomorrow. But I choose not to do that. I choose to wait. I choose to wait for a spouse. I choose to wait to be a wife before becoming a mom, first and foremost. And I choose to get my own life in a position where I can generate enough opportunities and wealth to pass down to my child or to my kids if I have them in the future. Because in my opinion, I think it's unfair to decide to have a kid just because I have a desire to have one, yet they're here and I have nothing to offer them other than life and maybe the basics. But thinking about this stuff honestly has me up at night, late at night, sometimes, and I'm constantly thinking about what can I do? What other ways can I position myself to become successful and to generate enough wealth to pay off enough debt, so that way one day if I do have a child with a spouse, I can pay for their entire education. They never have to take out a school loan in their life. They never have to worry about school loans. They can go to a great school. They don't have to go to a school in a neighborhood that doesn't have enough money put towards education. They don't have to go to a school where the school doesn't even have enough books to give everybody. They don't even have enough programs geared towards their mental or intellectual growth and development. How can I one day position myself where after they graduate from college, if they choose to go go to college, I can also give them money to put down on a home. So that way they don't have to worry about, trying to rent and save up money on their own, which is very difficult to do. It can take years. Where they can move inside of a home, it can develop equity over time. They don't have to take out that big of a loan, if any loan at all, and they'll be able to pay off the home if they still need to within a few years. Not 30 years, not 15 years, but let's say maybe 5 years. How can I position myself to give them that? How can I give them a business loan? Not a business loan, sorry. I don't want any loans in the equation. How can I position myself to give them money to start their own business? Or how can I position myself to create my own business so that way it can generate enough money to where I can pass it down to them? And, generation after generation, we continue to improve. How can I position my own life where I can do that? And honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I'm postponing motherhood, is because I want to be not necessarily great in society's eyes, but I want to be great in my future children's eyes. I want them to one day look up and say, my mom, she had to struggle. She wasn't perfect, but at least she left us this. And at least we never had to, go to bed hungry every night, or at least we didn't live in a bad neighborhood, or at least she left us a good lump sum of money to where we can go to school for free, and we can start our own business, or we can put money down on land or on a home or multiple homes or whatever. And that is what I want. That's what I want more than anything. And if I have to wait till I'm 30, 40, I don't think it's a good idea to have kids after 40 if you're a woman, unless you have money like that, like Janet Jackson. But even if I decide to adopt a child, I want to make sure that I'm ready and they're coming into a family, a mom, a dad, or it doesn't have to necessarily be a mom and dad. It could be a mom and mom, dad, whatever. Just a family unit, strong family unit, solid foundation, a chance to give the kids or child a bright future. And to me, that is important. So motherhood is a sacrifice, and right now I am sacrificing going out, having fun as a young adult, even though I do sometimes, but most of the times I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to think about ways where I can build money and save money and really position myself so that way I can give my future kids an awesome start in life. And those are my 2 cents. This video was super long. I did not mean to make this super long, but that is basically it. Give me your thoughts, comments below, and I'll catch up with you guys on my next video.